Hi, it's Anne from Music Discoveries. Today we're going to talk about improvising using pentatonic scales. It's really fun because you get to do this. So what is a pentatonic scale? Well, penta means 5. So a pentatonic scale is just a special scale pattern that uses 5 pitches. Let me show you how to build it. We'll start with a regular major scale with 8 notes. So all we need to do is play pitch 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. And that's the pentatonic scale. You can take any major scale and remove number 4 and remove number 7, and you've got the major pentatonic. Here's how it sounds. Now, one of the simplest ways for us to play pentatonic on the harp is to play in G major pentatonic. So start on a G. We've got 1, 2, 3. We skipped number 4. That's red. Play 5 and 6. And there's our G major pentatonic using the white strings on the harp. And you can play all kinds of beautiful melodies just by staying on the white strings. But remember that beautiful glissando that I played at the beginning of the video? That doesn't sound quite so nice anymore, does it? And that's because this tuning is making use of number 4 and 7. So we need to be a little bit more clever. So on the harp, we can be more clever by changing the pitch of string number 4 and string number 7 so those strings match one of the notes from the pentatonic scale. Now we can only do it in certain tunings, so it's a little bit of a tricky and special situation. Let me show you how to do it. Now, many of you tune your harps to E flat major. That's how I've got my harp tuned. So that's how we're going to do it. If you tune to E flat major, you can follow along with me and try this. So the first thing that we need to do is lower all of the levers. So they're all going down, which means that at the moment my harp is tuned to E flat major. If I start on an E flat, I've got E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, and E flat. Now, the next step is to raise all of the Ds and all of the G levers. So D goes up, G goes up, D goes up. The way that I remember this is I think good dog, good dog. So good dog, G, D, G. Okay? Now listen. Isn't that a great sounding glissando? So now we're in our pentatonic tuning. So those glissandos are really fun for a few minutes, but you'll probably want to do a bit more. And if you understand the theory behind what we just did, it's going to be easier for you to have a nice little toolbox of patterns that you can use to improvise with. So the first thing that you need to know is that we are now in A flat major pentatonic. Let's take a closer look at the notes that we're using to build A flat major pentatonic. So if I start on the A string with my right hand, that string is tuned to A flat. My next string is tuned to B flat. And then the third note is C. So those are the first 3 notes of my scale. Now string number 4 isn't used in a pentatonic scale. String number 4 is the D. That's the one that we raised. So string number 4 is now a D sharp, which is the same as E flat. D sharp and E flat are called enharmonic equivalents. So we've got these 2 white strings tuned to the same pitch. Okay? Then we have our E flat, of course, that's number 5. Number 6 is F. Number 7 is one of the notes that does not belong in the pentatonic scale. That's why we took the G and raised it. We turned it into a G sharp, which is the same pitch as A flat. G sharp and A flat are enharmonic equivalents. So again, we've got these two strings tuned to the same pitch. So because we've got these two sets of strings tuned to the same pitches or enharmonic equivalents, that lets us play these beautiful glissandos, and all of the strings sound good together. So if we're in the key of A flat major pentatonic, A flat is home. So let's talk about the left hand chord patterns first. So we could use our home chord or the tonic of A flat. Let's do a 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 pattern if that's comfortable for you, or it could just be a simple 1, 5, 8 if you prefer. Here's 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Let's do another one. We'll just create a nice, calm, peaceful left hand pattern. Let's do 2 more for practice. One more. Now, when your ear feels ready to hear another chord, another color in the palette, a good choice would be to skip down to the F chord. That's the 6th chord, and it sounds minor. Sounds like this. And do you hear it's using the G and the A? They're at the same pitch. It doesn't sound wrong. It just might surprise your ear that you're playing 2 different strings and they come out at the same pitch. I like that little surprise. And then when you're ready, come back to A flat again. So I really like sticking to these 2 chords for my improv. Let's go down to the F again for practice. That's F, C, F. Let's do that twice. If you would like one more chord in the color palette, I would recommend going down to the E chord. It's E flat technically. That's the 5 chord. And that's got a little surprise in the 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 as well, but I think it sounds nice. Now that E flat chord has a strong pull that wants to come back to home. Okay, so there's a nice palette of chord ideas for your left hand. A flat, then F, E flat if you like, and then home to A flat, okay? So what about the right hand? Well, the good news is the right hand can do pretty much anything that you want to. Because of our tuning, all of the strings are safe. You're really not going to do anything that sounds wrong. I would just maybe suggest that you start with some simple melodic fragments, maybe 3 or 4 notes at a time, and just start to explore how the pentatonic tuning sounds under your fingers. So just plunk your fingers on some strings. I have a group of 4 here. Let's see what it sounds like. And then maybe I step down. It all sounds nice, doesn't it? Now, maybe you can have a little conversation between your left hand and right hand. The left hand could start the 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, and then let the right hand have a little turn. And then when you're ready, play the left hand again. And the right hand can do something else. I'm not really worried about rhythm or time signature or how many beats per measure. I'm going to let this just sound like wind chimes, really nice and free. When you're ready, you could go down to your F, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, and the right hand can have a turn. And then home to A flat. So I think you could really take some time to explore and have fun just having a conversation between your right hand and left hand. Now, here's another idea for the right hand. I think that in this tuning, intervals of fourths sound really good. And so if you take a moment just to explore playing intervals of fourths in your right hand. Now remember, an interval of a fourth always skips 2 strings. You can go anywhere. I haven't found a single fourth that I don't like. I like them all. So that might just add another little pattern to your improv. Has a bit of an oriental flavor to it, doesn't it? It's very pretty. Isn't that nice? Now, one more idea with your intervals of fourths. If you like, you could play them broken. And I like making them walk up and down the strings in broken format. So I'm going to start here on C and F and walk them up the strings like that. You could just practice that as a little exercise. You want to try that with me? So 2 on C, thumb on F. Start with finger 2. So C, F, and then walk to D, G. Then walk to E, A, and so on. Or you could also make your fourths walk down the harp. Try starting with your thumb on F and 2 on C. We'll start with the thumb and walk down. Did you hear the doorbell? I'm not going to get that. Okay. And let's see what this sounds like. Here, let's put that in with your A flat. And I'll walk down the fourths. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. I'll do some solid fourths. Back to A flat. Isn't that pretty? Are you getting some ideas for things that you could do with your improv? If you practice mixing and matching these different pattern ideas, I think you're going to have a lot of fun improvising at the harp. Even if you're really new to improvising, it's a really good pattern that is easy and safe, and it sounds really good. You're going to sound like a pro. And if you would like a little extra inspiration, I'd invite you to go over and watch this video next. This is from the Adagio Atmosphere channel, where my husband and I create calming, meditative videos using the harp and also the Strymon Big Sky reverb pedal. And we release videos every Sunday. We'd love it if you come over and have a listen. And if you enjoy what we're doing, I hope you'll take a moment to subscribe to that channel. So have fun improvising. Let me know down in the comments how things are going, and I'd love to hear from you and hear all about your successes. Have fun.